citation for redaction. They're going to claim they've already claimed that it was under attorney-client privilege, and that they're not exercising the privilege, or they are exercising the privilege of non-disclosure. We have to deal with the facts. Okay, shall we open in public comment? And we can come back to this. We're going around a little bit.
Can I make one last comment?
Who's speaking?
The petitioner.
Sure. Go ahead, Mr. Kors.
So as far as 832.7 is concerned, I'm sure there's multiple instances where officers, are involved in off-duty incidents involving shootings, and other such, things of that nature. And I do think that you should strongly take into consideration that 832.7 was meant for both on and off-duty, instances. But mostly, it just never states that. It just does not put that in plain English. And I think it would be a bad, or it wouldn't be a good decision to just make it guess. That is what I'm trying to say. Secondly, as far as I'm concerned, this is still a public records request. I mean, what proof do we have that it's not? All the proof we have is that it is. And if you look at pages 1741 through 1743 of the evidence packet, it shows that. So I ask that you look at that. That's all. Thank
you. May I respond?
Yes, go ahead.
On his first point of it being an off-duty incident, it would have to be a use of force. And if Mr. Kors wants to admit that using his vehicle to hit somebody was intentional, then 832.7 may not apply. The second point is Mr. Kors has many emails from myself where I have told him that this was a personnel record provided to him as a former employee, not as a public records request. He should have multiple emails from me saying that. Thank you.
And those emails were received well after the first SOTF hearing, or after my complaint was raised. Thank you.
Okay. I mean, all we have is that this was presented as a public records request. Even if it was part and parcel to a personnel file, the meeting happened in an agendized, publicly held meeting with a closed session, and there are rules around the closed session. Again, if this was held as an administrative hearing, not in front of the commission, then we wouldn't be having the conversation. That would be a different story. So let's open it up for public comment. I'd like to close this meeting fairly soon. Victor, are you ready?
Yeah. Yes. Are there any members of the public who would like to provide public comment on the motion to find that the department did not violate the administrative code in question? C. Any members of the public for public comment?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Please proceed.
Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted, in regards to what I've listened to in this hearing, I do want to say that I respect the statement that your team needs to deal with facts. And one of the things that I've been hearing is that there have been a lot of assumptions and speculations being thrown around to kind of hurry up and kind of push aside this case or close it or whatnot. But as a concerned citizen, I believe that this is a decision that the whole reason for this ordinance is for transparency and to deal with facts to make sure that these type of situations are dealt justifiably and with prevailing minds that you guys know for sure what's going on. So in that light, I heard way too much gray area between the teams to the multitude of decisions even being made that within the same conversations were proven false a multitude of times. So I just want to urge that you please have the facts before you make a decision that affects a lot of people's lives and just the justice system in general. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Next speaker. Any other public comment?
Yes, anonymous here. Hello.
Go ahead.
Yes, Chair Wolf and members, thank you for telling me, letting me express my concerns to the ordinance team. I'd like to present today to emphasize the fact that many of the tactics that I see the police commission is executing strongly present to me they're hiding something. I do not understand what laws or what they have in place to not be releasing it, And if they aren't hiding anything, to me, they surely are doing a good job of creating that image. I'd like to play a short audio clip representing a little bit what I'm talking about here. Just a moment, please.
So let me ask again, starting on one, is that part of the meeting where the deliberations happen, is that contained in a recording? No. It was not. Is it contained in any deliberations for these purposes? Yeah, you did. So you're doing some closed sessions, but not other closed sessions regarding personnel matters? I was not at this particular hearing. I can't say what the practice was at that particular time, but there is, usually before, like I said, two different tracks. It would be that section, deliberation, and then that section, all three different tracks. It normally is recorded down here. But in Mr. Core's case, this third track was not recorded. In the Core's matter, the deliberations were not recorded.
Now, my concern here, and the last Mr. Anonymous mentioned about many false statements being made, relevant to the police commission here, there's been documents provided to the complainant or public records and provided as public records, and it's all throughout the packet. And Sergeant Youngblood or the commission is basically stating, I don't know for sure who stated, the public, not public records is stated. The commission stated complainant was suing the police commission. That never happened, wasn't there. I don't know if it was made up or what the commission saw. And now the commission actually, they changed their mind from no audio recordings were made of the deliberations to, now there is audio recording. I think that
Speaker
decision.
time has elapsed.
Pardon?
Speaker time has elapsed.
Oh, okay.
Are there any other members of the public for public comment? Hearing none, I do not believe there is any additional public comment.
You're on mute, Bruce. You're on mute.
Sorry. Seeing that there's no more public comment, we have motion on the floor to find no violation. Moved by Member Schmidt, second by Member Forsley. Member Forsley, you have your hand up. You have something? You want to add?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I am just a little concerned because I did second it, but then I was thinking that when they stated that the documents kind of, or the recording kind of lies nowhere, like it doesn't go into personnel, it doesn't go here, it doesn't go there, it's only in the closed session of a public meeting in which it was kind of picked and chosen what was going to be allowed out. I guess that is a little disconcerting. So I'm not sure if I want to. I mean, I guess, can you vote no even if you seconded it? I don't know.
It's not usually appropriate. I mean, the thing to do would be to rescind your second, and then I would just call for another second.
Go ahead and rescind. Yeah, that seems
Okay.
like the right thing to do.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm going to rescind this.
That's fine. That's okay.
Okay, it's all right.
That's cool.
That's what the process is all about. So I'll now ask for, is there a second to the motion?
I don't have a second, but I do have a concern related to Member Forsley's concern, which is, and I wonder, is it too late to ask of the police department representative where this information is stored then, where this
Well,
record is stored?
I don't want to disrupt the flow of the procedure, because then that sets a bad precedent too. So if there's no second, then the motion it dies. Yes, Member Wong.
This is Member Wong. I will second the motion.
Okay, so the motion is back on the floor. Member Stein.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I can ask the representative from the police department, where is this record kept? Because as I understand it, these records still need to be kept for 10 years. Where is it?
It's kept in the police commission office
Okay.
with the disciplinary file.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so that begs another question. What if it's not a personnel file and it's not an investigative file, what is a disciplinary file?
The police commission is separate from the San Francisco Police Department, so the police department would hold his personnel record. Any of the documents that come to the commission are the commission record. So the parts that he had that involved his discipline hearing were part of the personnel record, which are provided to his personnel record. But the part that was not given over because the commission did not disclose. So the deliberations are not part of the personnel record, but they stay with the commission with the disciplinary file here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And so that then you open up a whole nother world here, because any records that are held by the commission, a public commission for public meetings, is public information.
No, they're personnel. It's a personnel record of Chris.
You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. You can declare it as being not disclosable for some reason, but it's still a public record.
Well, if you're going to argue with the witness, I would argue the opposite. I don't. Are we arguing with the witness on this? I don't know. I certainly don't agree with that statement.
With whose statement? My statement?
Your statement, yeah.
What that the commission's records are not public?
These are closed session tapes. These are closed session tapes.
Yeah, we have rules about closed sessions that require it to be closed sessions to be open under certain circumstances. They're required to be recorded, and we have section 67-8-.8-1.
Yeah, that's what we're deciding here today, is what we do with these closed session tapes.
Yeah, I understand that, but we were under the impression that these were not a personnel record, and that they were part of some other disciplinary, it was not part of an investigative record. So now we don't know what record it is. It's a public record that's part and parcel of meeting minutes, essentially, of a public meeting. So if they're going to declare that part of that meeting is not disclosable, okay, fine. They did state that they were claim it as being attorney-client privilege. They didn't want to give up their privilege. They were invoking the privilege. They did it by action, okay? But the question now, so then, great. SB 1421, that is completely off the table then. It's not a personnel record. Does that change? Who's speaking?
RG Umbly.
You're saying that it is a personnel record?
Yes, a discipline record is a personnel record. Any disciplinary action taken against an officer is a personnel record.
But you're saying that but you just said that it wasn't part of his personnel record. It was part of a disciplinary record from the commission.
It is part of his personnel record within the police commission office, which is separate from San Francisco Police Department.
So he has two personnel records, personnel files?
Yeah.
I'm voting no on this motion. Go ahead, Matt.
I was just going to say, we've been on this about an hour and a half. I think we should at least give this motion a chance to do what it's going to do, and then we figure out how to, either we continue this, we take another thing, but I think we need this motion to be on the table now for about half hour. So
You're calling the vote? You're calling the vote?
I'm going to call the question.
Okay, calling the question.
Okay.
Any objection to calling the question? Okay, we've had public comment. All right, Member Forsley, did you have any last words on this? No, your hand was up. Okay. All right, Victor, call the roll.
Okay, give me one moment. Member Schmidt.
Aye.
Schmidt, aye. Member Wong.
Aye.
Wong, aye. Member Highland. Member Highland.
You're on
We will
mute.
bypass.
No.
He's on mute.
Member Highland says no.
Highland, no. Member Frazier.
He's already left the meeting. Absent.
Give me a moment, I'm just tracking. Member Forsley.
No, thank you.
Forsley, no. Member Pedmaban.
Aye.
Pedmaban, aye. Member Neighbors.
Aye.
Neighbors, aye. Member Stein. Member Stein.
Aye.
And aye. Member LaHood.
No.
LaHood, no. Yankee.
Aye.
Yankee, aye. Chair Wolf.
No.
Wolf, no. Give me a moment. We have 6 ayes, 4 noes and 1 absent. The motion passes.
The case is officially closed. Either party has an opportunity, as per our complaint procedure, to file for reconsideration. You can find the rules on that on our website under documents, under complaint procedure. Okay. Please call next item.
Next on the agenda is the administrator's report, complaints and communications. I will let the report speak for itself as I did not generate it. I just like to note the next meetings. I lost my page. I just like to note that the next 2 committee meetings, I'm just getting back to it. It will be the complaint committee and the compliance and amendments committee. Complaint committee is on April 20th at 5:30, and compliance and amendments on April 27th at 4:30. Cheryl will be in contact to work out the agendas and confirm attendance by the members.
I got just a couple of quick administrative things that will go into this section too. Vice Chair Yankee and I and Administrator Leger met, and Victor Young had a meeting with the Department of Technology about our platform here using MS Teams with the WebEx phone bridge, and they highly recommended, the actual director highly recommended that we move to totally to WebEx, and that they would put their staff in touch with the clerk staff to see about getting that going. So we'll hear more about, hopefully more about that next month. I don't know if it'll be implemented next month, but we're getting close. At least there's a little bit of movement on that. The elections for the chair and the vice chair will be at the May meeting, according to our bylaws. And lastly, seat number 3 and number 11 are being considered for reappointment. But since they are out of sync with the rest of the seats, we're petitioning for them to be synchronized retroactively. And this has been working with Supervisor Peskin's office on this. There's no ordinance or rules that control the terms, except that they're 2-year terms. So I've gone back as far as 2005. When I first started, I can't find any documentation as to why these 2 seats were, out of sync. And there isn't a whole lot of electronic data before that. So I'll have to go to hard copy to find any minutes or anything around that. I just don't know. That's all I got for administrators. Let's go to any public comment on the administrator's report.
Yes, please.
Give me one quick moment. And no, Chair Wolf, I am working with Peskin's office to schedule those appointments by the end of the month, if possible.
Okay. Did they talk about synchronizing them?
They have not mentioned that to me.
Okay, I'll get in touch with his aide, Lee Hefner, about that.
Hey, Mr. Warfield, please proceed.
Yes, Peter Warfield, Executive Director of Library Users Association. A couple of points. The Sunshine Ordinance says that the that the clerk is supposed to provide necessary resources, basically, to support the task force. 144 complaints backlog, 143, whatever, seems overwhelming. 1,800-page agenda packets seem to me overwhelming. We have, for example, we have been trying to get resolution on an error made with respect to our complaint. Again, this is an administrative issue. As soon as the proposed agenda came out on March 10th, we sent on March 11th the first of a whole series of requests by phone and by email for response about not only making a correction, which was done with respect to the agenda, but also with respect to contacting the Library Commission for a response to the complaint. We pretty much got non-responsive responses, 3 from the administrator, a call initially with multiple reasons why her response was delayed, and then unfortunately a minute and 6 seconds later, the answering machine ran out of space. Another contact was that we should have telephoned her when we had done both telephone calls and emails. And finally, I'm on vacation this week. That was in late March. Basically, stuff about what we weren't able to get, but not what we were able to get. The chair called us the day of the meeting of the EOT and said that bottom line was they would have, he would have them determine what's going on. We sent an email saying that there had been no resolution and have not heard, apparently, from what happened earlier this, I guess I can expect to hear a response with regard to how this is going to be fixed. The minutes are devastatingly wrong from the EOT. In particular, what they say about our argument. We did not say we didn't have enough time. We said we were never called on and had 0 time. And we didn't say that
Speaker time has elapsed.
So those are not going to be fixed for another month or 2. Possibly the task force will already.
Thank you. Your time is up. Thank you.
Are there any other public?
Any other public comment?
Sorry.
Okay, public comment is closed. Please call the next item.
Next item on the agenda is item number 12, announcements, comments, questions, and future agenda items by members of the Sunshine Ordinance Task Force.
Anything, folks? You don't want to bring it up to elongate the meeting somehow? Okay, I'm just going to rattle off 3 items that you should just think about. We get continual reports that respondents are getting advice from the city attorney that 6725 is for simple requests, and people are converting immediate disclosure requests to standard 6721 complaints. Just think about that. We should probably have a longer discussion about it sometime in the future. We heard some discussion around the rule of reason tonight. This is in state law, but like redactions, they got to give a reason for the rule of reason. It can't just be some blanket excuse for not doing the work. So, and lots of times it's used as a catch-all, and we've gotten, when it comes up, we've gotten pretty strict about it. So just be on alert that if you hear about it, really, really ask what the reason is. And then the last one, which we struggled with tonight, was the balancing test. So think about what that means. If you have questions that you want to ask legal counsel, please go ahead and do that. any one of you can engage them directly and ask them, and that you can get some answers from them there to help you along. That's all I got for the moment. Okay.
Is there any public comment on these announcements?
Yes, please.
Mr. Warfield, we can barely hear you at this point.
Perfect.
Could we also have task force members all on mute? I'm hearing background noise.
Mr. Warfield, if you're ready, please proceed.
Is that better in terms of volume?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. This is Peter Warfield, Executive Director of Library Users Association. I wanted to say that, first of all, definitely second all of the items that Chair Bruce Wolf has mentioned. Those have come up from time to time all over the place. I did want to say something about next request. We heard this evening at least one case in which there seemed to be a great deal of confusion about what did next request provide and what is the meaning of staff only, and frankly, what does that mean there? Staff only is, everything is a public record. It should be open. It seems to me that was a clear example of the technology getting in the way of a straightforward relationship. And that is, a requester asks an agency or an individual for a document, as an example, and then you get the document back. The first thing that's totally confusing, and I actually looked over my emails and found that we had some next request things that we didn't even recognize and had ignored quite some time ago. It's like making a request of the city attorney, for example, and getting an Amazon package from Illinois. The identification is completely obscure. And finally, most importantly, they require your agreement to the privacy terms and the terms of use before you can even do anything with that platform. And I think that's an outrageous requirement for somebody to simply get an answer to a question or a comment or a request. I think that's very wrong, and that needs to be basically trashed as an acceptable response mechanism. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any additional public commenters? I do not hear any additional public comment on this item.
Okay. Thank you. Please call the next item.
Next item is adjournment.
I oppose. I object. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
You don't want to go? Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. And this was a toughie. I appreciate you all hanging in there. Thanks. Okay. Feel good. Take care. See you through the month. We're adjourned. 10:42 p.m.